Hey guys, I am Kevin Taylor, and welcome to our very first panel. We are going to be interviewing our finance specialist today. My co-host, Cherry Howell. Will you introduce yourself?
I am Cherry Howell. I'm with Providence Chiropractic. I'm in Gateway BNI in Huntsville, Alabama.
Awesome. All right, so each one of you, before we get started with our questions from our panel, I'd like y'all to introduce yourself. First, we have Lamar Mayton, and then we have John Hearn. If you will, Lamar, go ahead and tell us 30 to 60 seconds about yourself and especially geographically where you are.
Hey, thanks so much, Kevin. Appreciate that. Hey, I'm Lamar Mayton. I'm with Lampshade Consulting, and I'm a local financial life coach. I'm in the Hoover area, and I help couples that are just struggling, whether it's going through a life change, whether it has to do with a divorce, a marriage, having a baby, buying a house, whatever that is. That's what I'm here for. I give them simple tools to help them focus and take control of their lives. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. And where are you located?
In Hoover, Alabama.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right, John, your turn.
Yes, good afternoon. It's John Hearn. I'm with Raymond James Financial, located here in Huntsville, Alabama. We work with clients, whether they be individuals, couples, businesses. We help them to achieve their goals, their financial goals, and really help them to articulate those goals, figure out what they are. I've been in financial services for about 15 years now. Made the change from a competitor to Raymond James in January. So very excited, and thank you for having me on today.
Oh, we're glad that you're here. Thank you so much. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started with our questions. These questions, we came up with some of the questions as well as I interviewed some people as far as questions that they were most interested about. Lamar, I'm going to start with you. What is the most important question to ask someone in your field to make sure that they are qualified to care for your needs?
Well, I think it's really about interviewing the person and making sure they're there for you. Let me give you an example of what I mean by that. I with my clients, I take 30 minutes. It's a free coaching assessment, and we're going to sit down and kind of go through your whys, find out what's going on. It's hard to say a specific thing of what you're asking or what you're listening for. Try to make sure there's a connection. That you don't feel a gut feeling that says don't use them or a gut feeling that says use them. So somehow do an interview with the coach that you're going after, the person you're going after is very, very helpful. That's what I'm good for.
All right, John, we're going to give you the same question. Investments is a long-term game. What are the same question for you? What are some things that people need to ask you to make sure that you're qualified to help them with their needs?
Sure. I think a lot of it is very similar to what Lamar just laid out. I think it's you have to have a connection. The expectation is that the relationship's going to last a long time. I think the biggest, most important, relevant question right now is wanting to make sure that that person who's going to be providing you the advice and the guidance is a fiduciary and is going to be compelled either by their company or regulations to act in your best interest. I think that's going to be the most important question right now. And what that means is that their compensation, their pay is in line with your goals and best interest. So accomplishing that, I think, is the most important, primary and most important question right now.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Cherry, if you'll ask the next couple questions, please.
Okay, sure. Lamar, what is the biggest mistake people make, or what is it that you have to come in and help your clients with the most?
Oh, that's a great question. It really goes with all of my clients. There's three basic things we're going to do. So usually whether it's a spending issue, whether it's a fight issue or something like that, their focus is off. So the one thing we have to do with everyone is get their focus back. So the first thing we're going to work on is refocusing, get them on the right track, trying to figure out what the problem is. So that's really the main thing I'm seeing as people come to me.
Okay. All right, John, same question. What is the biggest mistake people make, or what is it that you have to come in and help your clients with the most?
Again, I'm so glad that Lamar lays the groundwork because there's a lot of similarities here. I think the biggest issue is when folks come in and they don't have a plan in place, or they take an action without a plan in mind. And what we try to do is help them figure out what purpose is behind their money. And whether that's for retirement, saving for kids' educations, for that next dream house, planning to invest in a business, we're trying to figure out what they're trying to accomplish. And generally, that's they may have the goal in mind, but they haven't articulated it. So we're trying to help them figure out what that means, and then get their money to work for them. That's probably the biggest problem we see coming in. I will say it's probably topical to talk about in considering the recent market environment. Sometimes people take action when it's the worst time, giving their time horizon, giving what they want their money to do. Sometimes our emotions drive our behaviors. So sometimes we have to unwind that as well.
Good answer.
Okay, that's why we hire a professional like yourself, right?
That's
good.
That's great.
All right, so a next question for you, Lamar. If you were to build a life raft for someone's finances for the next 6 months and the next 6 years, how would that look?
Oh, thanks for asking that one. So we've got 5 or 6 things I would have in your life raft. The first one is a fun one. It's a bucket. What is this bucket? This bucket is a bucket of cash, bucket of money, but it's got to be easily accessible, something you can easily get out of the bank. You've got hidden in your safe, somewhere at the bed mattress, just something very easily accessible. You don't have to worry about the bank. Or worry about trying to he'll get into investing, having to do with that, having to take money out of that. The second one, this one's interesting. It's kind of an interesting concept, creativity. And I'm going to use my previous life as a DJ. If you're looking at DJs now online, they can't have parties in person right now. So they're having to do virtual parties. So they're taking their talent, they added Zoom, and now they got virtual parties. So creativity is definitely something else to have in there. Another one, and this is by no means about an insurance person, I don't sell it, but something to talk with your insurance person is maybe having some sort of insurance. And I don't know what that means. I could be talking to John about life insurance or something like that to be prepared for the future. Another one is having a map or a GPS. You're like, what does that mean exactly? Well, that means being paired with the right person, having the right financial advisor, having the right CPA that you could turn to, having the right attorney you can ask questions to. Maybe it's the right pastor, whatever it is, having those people in place, that's your GPS, your roadmap. And finally, this one I find a little funny, an additional life raft in your boat. It's kind of like a backup parachute. So having another plan in place, maybe you can make money on the side. You've seen several breweries that are doing sanitizer, for example. So like, you know what? It's the same process. We're going to make sanitizer. That was their plan B. They're not only helping people, but they're able to make a little bit of money off this as well too. So good for them. So that's several things I think you should have in your life raft.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Thank you. I don't feel like I'm going to drown now. All right. So John, the question for you, how do I get started investing? I keep telling myself I will start investing and planning retirement when I hit the lottery or start making more money.
Well, to get started, I think Lamar laid out a good ground game for making sure that your financial house is in order. Really starting with a budget, making sure that you're handling the expenses that you need to handle, and then you can start looking at investing. But simply put, there are some opportunities either through employer-sponsored plans, through individual retirement accounts, Roth individual retirement accounts. Those are the places to start where you can not only take advantage of potential tax deferment and growth, but also there are employers that will contribute a portion of what you contribute through a match, through a profit share. That's the first step that I would take really to get started. If you don't have access to those, there are additional retirement vehicles that you could start with. But all of that coincides with what Lamar was talking about, really making sure that are you protecting your greatest wealth driver, which is your income? Are you making sure that your income is matching your expenses? And once that's really taken care of, do you have emergency expenses set aside? Do you have enough? And this, I hate to say it may be applicable now, but are you able to have a foundation to go to if you're laid off or if work dries up, things like that, so you have 3 to 6 months to lean on. after all that's taken care of and some insurance as well, it's probably that's when it's a good time to start maybe looking at taking on some additional investment opportunities.
Okay, excellent. Jerry?
Okay, Lamar, how can I keep my family from overspending with online shopping and other small charges that add up and go boo when I look at my account statements?
Oh, that's funny. And John kind of alluded to some of these too. I think first thing, of course, we need to go in and get with them. Okay, what is going on here? What's really causing the spending problem? So we gotta look at that. We gotta come up with the next one is we gotta gain control and figure out what's going on. So basically we're gonna create a spending plan and find out, okay, why are we spending so much money on this online stuff? Is it something we really need? Are we bored? Do we need another hobby or something like that? So a lot of talking, maybe some communication exercise we do as well too. And then we're going to work on setting a plan with them. Okay, let's give a little bit on this. Let's say, okay, you can spend this X amount on Amazon, Target, whatever it is. And that's able to do per month. That we kind of come up with a compromise, something that works. That way you're not blowing the money out of the water. You're going, oh, wait a minute, we haven't paid a bill yet, but we just bought this really cool thing off of, name that website, whatever it is. So really just three things. We've got to refocus. We got to get them to gain control. Then we got to get them to set a plan. Ready to go.
Awesome. Okay, John, what time of year is the best time to invest?
Tomorrow.
I love it.
No, the conventional wisdom used to be, start investing in November, go away in May, and then come back. And I don't know if those axioms still hold true. I think we really try to have long-term vision with our investment. We're not going to be trading. That's not. I do have some clients that trade, but that's not the majority of our business. Majority of our business is long-term investing, and that means that you're putting your dollars to work and you're expecting a long-term a return. So the answer to that question from our perspective is as soon as possible. Reverting back to the previous question, making sure that as much as possible of your financial house is in order. But after that, really taking advantage of where you can get matching funds, where you can get tax deferred growth, and then just as soon as possible. Being in the market is better than not being in the market. That's been my experience, and I think that's been the experience of investors for decades. Again, there's ebbs and flows, but trying to time the market is nearly impossible. There's a lot of books that people have written about them, and it seems like the people that only make money off of that are the ones writing the books. So I think it's important to have a plan, have that plan be long term, and then invest when you have your house in order.
Awesome, great response. Just to give everyone an insight, the two individuals that we're interviewing today, Lamar Mate and John Hearn, they were nominated in our networking groups to speak because they're fantastic individuals, fantastic communicators, as well as awesome in their respective fields of finance. So that is why they are here today. If y'all have questions, please send us some emails, comments, anything so that we can help you get to the next step with these individuals. Guys, do you have anything else that y'all like to add? Lamar?
I think we're good. I mean, I really appreciate the opportunity to get to talk to everyone today. Just take it easy out there, help your fellow man if you can, and, take care of yourself out right now.
Yeah. John, I'm sorry you had to go second because Lamar was laying all the groundwork for you. But I think we probably
I'm not
did
sorry at all. I think it was great. I think it was great. No, I really enjoyed it. This was fun. Just again, to echo what Lamar's saying, this is an opportunity it's a great opportunity to help each other, to really lift each other up. I forgot to say it in my opening. I'm part of Referrals in Motion, which is a chapter in Huntsville, Alabama. I'm very proud to be a part of that group. But yeah, I've had a great time. I've enjoyed getting to be a part of this.
Excellent. Thank you. So we're really happy that y'all were here. Thank you so much for lending your expertise. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Great.